Welcome back everybody, Max here with Cattle Hunting, and today's video is going to be all about Canadian pennies. Over the last 3 months I actually got pretty lucky at the banks and I got a bunch of boxes of Canadian pennies, which as you guys know are out of circulation since 2013 and it is very hard to come by those goodies. And I was lucky enough to get a total of 35 boxes of pennies over the last 3 months, which I have hunted. That equals to 87,500 pennies I searched for any young heads, King Georges, any older American coins, any interesting foreign coins, nice toners, whatever I could find. Especially one of my branches had a surprisingly large amount of pennies. They had 13 boxes of pennies one time and another 10 boxes the other time. So that was a really nice haul that is very difficult to come by here in Canada. It's still possible to get the pennies if you are nice to the banks and you are really asking nicely for them. So I got really lucky and I wanted to share my finds with you guys. To avoid making my videos really repetitive, I did not want to do single box or 2 box penny hunts with this because it's going to end up being the same style of video every time. So I decided to do it this way and make a huge summary with all the stuff I found within the 35 boxes. I will go ahead and split this video in a few parts. I will show you guys the young heads first, the King Georges next, and then we will proceed to all the foreign and cool and more interesting finds that I found. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I would be really appreciative if you guys could do that. There's going to be more content like this in the future, and I hope you guys enjoy watching. Alright, let's kick this off with all the young heads that I found. First of all, let's talk about the bird cents, the 1967 centennial cent. Very common. I found a total of exactly 200 of those. Thought I don't have to take them out of the rolls because they're not really anything special. Same goes for the 64, 63 and 62 young heads. I found a total of 238 64s. We found 286 63s and we found 92 62s. So all of those are very common years. The mintage is very high. I think the 64 is almost 500 million minted. So you will find a lot of those in Canadian pennies. But nevertheless, I decided to keep them because I really like the design. We have some of the more shiny examples just over here. I found 5 very nice 64s, found a bunch of very nice 62s, and even more very shiny 63. So that's the stuff that I'm really happy about because it's very hard to find those copper pennies in that condition. So that's very nice. The total of young heads was actually 987 young heads in the 35 boxes of pennies. So let's get to the more interesting ones. Starting with the 1960s, which have a surprisingly low mintage, only 75 million minted, which is very low compared to almost everything else in the young head range. I found a total of 42 of those. We found 42 59s. Let's zoom in to one here to show you guys. 1959. We found 25 1958s. Which is surprisingly little because the mintage is not so much lower than the other years. It's 59 million. I mean, still pretty low, but nothing to rave about. We found 44 1957s just over here. We found a total of 49 56. We found 39 55s. We found 14 1954 and 30 1953. The lowest mintage by far are the 1954s here, so I was actually happy to find 14 of those. It's quite a lot for only 22 million minted. Overall, a big haul of young heads, almost 1,000 young heads in the hunt. I haven't checked anything yet for doubling, varieties, and so on. So if you guys want to leave something in the comments that informs me of any doubling years and errors that I'm not aware of, please let me know, and I'm definitely going to check them out and make maybe another video in the future about this if I find any of the varieties in here. But that's it so far for the young heads. Maybe the last thing I show you is those really nice shiny 2 young heads from the 50s I found. As you can see, I only found 2 50s young head with luster, so as you guys can imagine, it's very hard to find this in circulation. So I'm very happy that I found at least 2 from the 50s in that condition. But again, only 2 of them in 87,500 pennies, so it's really hard to come by those. And now let's move on to the King Georges, which are going to be a bit more exciting. Let's move on to the George VI coins, and we found a bunch of them. Surprisingly, we found more George VI coins in this 35 boxes of pennies than young heads, with a total of 1,013. It's a big surprise because the mintage is so much lower on those King George VI pennies as it is for the young heads, but it can be explained because a few of the boxes seem to be a collection dump. So we found two boxes that had an excess of 300 George VI coins each, and that's explaining why we have so many. We found a George head of every year that exists, which is also very, very nice, but let's break it down a little bit further. Start with the 50s. So we found a total of 102 52s. We found 116 1951s. Just over here, very, very nice. I love those George heads. They're very, very beautiful. And if you see them in abundance like this, it suggests that they're usually easy to find. But usually if I hunt pennies, I find maybe a couple per box. So it's really, really difficult to find so many. 1950, we have a total of 96. We only have 15 49s. That is not a big surprise because it's a lower mintage year with only 33 million minted. Surprisingly, we have more 48s than 49s, even though that's one of the lowest mintage years with only 25 million minted. Let's go to the 47s, which have two varieties. We have the regular 47 and we have the 47s with a maple leaf. We found a total of 26 of the regular 47s and we found 40 of the 47s with the maple leaf, which is again a surprise because we found more of the maple leaf 47s, which have a lower mintage than the other 47s, but that kind of stuff happens. Coin roll hunting is not very linear and you can find all weird kinds of things. Let's move on to the little bit older ones in the 40s. We found a bunch of 46s, a total of 97 46s. All of those guys, it's very, very nice. We found 112 45s. So it's a large number of 1945s, a lot of World War II pennies. 1944, we found only 35, which is one of the lower numbers that we found here, but it's also explained with a lower mintage, only 44 million minted, so much, much less than the 45 or the 46, or even the 43 with 90 million minted. The 1943, we found a total of 114. We found 105 1942s. Just here and here, those two stacks. We found 46 1941s, so not so many 41s either, much less than most of the other coins. Very, very beautiful coins here. 1941 has a mintage of 56 million, so pretty high, not suspiciously low. We found a lot of 1940s, also explainable by the high mintage with 80 million. We found a total of 82. And now let's go to the only two George years in the 30s, and we found three in total. We found two 1939s, very, very beautiful and very low mintage. I think it's under 20 million. Let's just check that. No, it's 21 million for the 39, and it is 18 million for the 38. Beautiful coins here. Very, very happy that I found actually a George head of every year in those boxes of pennies, so I have a complete collection here. But I was obviously thrilled to find those 30s King Georges because they're very, very hard to find. Let's move on to the wheat cents next and show you guys some American coinage that I found. Alright, let's move on to the wheat cents. As you guys know, we find a lot of US coinage here in Canada. Especially with pennies, the percentage is very, very high. In some rolls you have up to 50% US pennies. Very, very common to find them. Still not too common to find wheat cents, and we found a total of 185 wheat cents in those 35 boxes of Canadian pennies. 96 of them were in the 50s. Most of them very, very common. Maybe the only two to point out in the 50s are the 1954s. So we got a 1954 and a 1954S, which are both minted under 100 million. Everything else is very, very common and very, very high mintage. We found 75 wheat cents in the 40s. And again, here the S mintage wheat cents should be pointed out, especially the 47 S's, which we found two of, and the 48S that we found one of. Both of them are lower mintage, as the San Francisco minted coins often are. Everything else, as I said, 75 total in the 40s, nothing too exciting. And then we found a total of 14 coins that are 30s or earlier. Let's check them out together, because that's the ones that I personally like the most, because it's very, very hard to find those. So we found three 1939s, we found two 1937s, we found one 1935, we found two 1931s, we found a 1930, a 1927D, a 1926, we found a 1920, which is very, very old and nice looking. And then my two favorite finds in the American coinage here is those two 1918s. One is a 1918D, one is a 1918S. Very, very beautiful coins, and the mintage is only around 35 million, if I remember right. So this is something that I'm very, very happy to find, because you won't find many of those. And this one is beautifully slick. I like it a lot. It has a very, very good look. Overall, a nice haul of wheat cents, despite being in a different country. So I'm very, very happy about this. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is all the weird toners, foreign coins, and some other really special cool things that I found. So keep on watching and you will see what I found. Alright, let's get to the last part of the video, and the most exciting one in my opinion. This is all the weird foreign coins and toners and older Canadian coins that I found. Let's start with this stacks here on the side. So this is the British 1 pence and 2 cent euro coins, which are very common. I found 38 2 cent euro coins and 14 British 1 penny. The British 1 penny are funny, because you know it straight away. They're too big for a penny roll, but people still crush them in there, and then the roll just doesn't want to come out at all. So you always know when you have one of those. Nothing special there. So let's move down to the more exotic and rare coins. So we found 5 Hong Kong 10-cent pieces, which is not a surprise with the large amount of Cantonese population here in Vancouver. We found 2 1 cents from Singapore, different years, different sizes. We found Cook Islands 1 cent, which is actually pretty cool, with the bird on it, and just a very, very beautiful coin. Let's check it out. We found a Trinidad and Tobago 1977 1 cent. Also, let's show the reverse here. It also has a nice bird on it. This is actually a British halfpenny from 1971, I believe. Also a very nice coin. We found 3 Malaysia 1 cent, nothing very, very special. 50 centimes from Belgium, also something I've never found before, very, very nice. This one is a 1 cent piece from Panama, very, very nice, with the Balboa on the other side. Or, no, it's not the Balboa, but it still says Balboa on it, so I always like to find stuff from Panama. We have the Bahamas over here, with the beautiful sea star. I like how all those coins from the islands have this beautiful animal pictures and stuff like this. My favorite from the exotic coins that are not very old is going to be this Fiji coin, which basically says grow more food on it. Very, very interesting. Look at this, guys. Grow more food. Very, very cool. 1 cent piece. Some of you guys have seen this maybe. This is a blank planchet that I found. Very, very hard to find and very rare. I'm 99% sure this is a US blank planchet, and very, very happy to have found this one. It's a very, very beautiful one. Found a bunch of cool Canadian toners. This one here is very interesting. I'm pretty sure it has been polished or something, but it just has such a completely different gold silverish look to it than all the other coins do. If you flip it around, it just looks like a regular Canadian penny, but it is very, very, very beautiful. One of my favorite coins, just because it's very, very special. Then we have this 2007 toner, which is very hard to see on camera, but the toning is actually pretty severe if you see it in person. So I like this, but that's probably the least exciting toner I found. Love this 64 toner. It has so many beautiful rainbow colors on it. It's absolutely beautiful coin. I love toners, one of my favorite things to find. This 1972 here too has like a lot of nice rainbow toning to it. Very, very beautiful. Another 1972 here, and this is basically completely pinked, and I really looked at it under the microscope and I'm pretty sure it didn't get painted. So like this is one of the more exciting toners I ever found. And we have some light toning here, not too exciting. Let's check out the two old Canadian pennies I found. I found a 1928 and a 1934 that has been in the water or something. Two of the beautiful George V coins, Canadian. So that was a surprise that I only found two of them. I actually expected to find a bit more, especially considering how many George VI I found. But only two of them is very, very, very low. I'm still very happy to find them. Very, very cool. Probably the equivalent to finding an Indian headset in the US. So that's very nice. Then we found this Greek 50-cent piece here, which is not very exciting, but also something that I've never found before. So that's pretty nice. And then let's go to the three oldest coins that I actually found. So that was very exciting to me. This one here is a 3 skilling from Norway, 1827, and it's actually 25% silver. So that's the only small silver coin that I found, and also the oldest coin that I found. Something I've never found before, smaller than a penny, so it stuck out straight away. So that's very, very nice. Let me guys know if you know more about this coin. I know it's about 400,000 of those have been made, so it's like a low mintage, very nice old coin. Yeah, probably my favorite coin that I've found. Very, very nice. Then we have two old German coins, which is very nice because I'm German myself, so I was very, very excited to find those. One is a 1976 is it no, it's actually 1874 Reichspfennig. So it's a very, very old German coin, also very, very, very used. And then we have one of the, just before World War II pennies, 1938 with the eagle and the swastika, something I don't like to see, but still very, very exciting to find two of those, especially because they come from my home country. Overall, I found a lot of amazing coins in here. Again, if I have to narrow it down, probably that's my two favorite finds is the 3 skilling and the blank planchet. Very, very nice finds and very, very unique. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I would be really appreciative about that. And I hope you guys come back and tune in if I create more content, which is going to come soon. And I hope you find this exciting as I did, because there's so many pennies to go through, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of great finds. Have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.